Put me on tonight.
You married your best friend, so
I did.
do best friend stuff.
Oh, that's good advice.
And I think it's a little hard when you stay with your best friend, because I done said this in a few arguments. She said, why you this way and why you this way? I was like, well, you wouldn't see this, but we stay together. Right. So this is how I deal with certain stuff, but you see me every day.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? And then we do the parenting thing, too.
Oh, yeah.
So that take you away from the friendship.
We're just talking about that, how you trying to balance being...
It's a balance.
Yeah.
That's that part. The friendship, the lover, and the parenting.
Yeah.
It's a balance. And right now, we in a place.
You can't let that child take over your space that y'all have, because they will and they can. They know what they're doing, so don't let that child do that.
Exactly. We got 2 kids out of 4. We got 2 out of 4 that will play on your intelligence.
Yes.
Oh my God, will play on your intelligence. Know exactly what this parent say, so don't go to that one. Go to this one.
Yes.
And by the time we figure out that this is going on, we don't.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We just friction.
Exactly.
See, once the kids, you shock the kids and you show them, wait a minute, y'all 2 are a force. And you can't break the force. Like, whatever you tell dad,
20 seconds, y'all. 20 seconds, and we'll be live.
Okay.
We're going to get into it.
Yeah.
Once the kids realize that for just a force, it's like, oh, shoot.
Hey, y'all. Hey, it's your girl, Siobhan Noel, and we are live in the lab on Hits 92.3, the real definition of internet radio. And yes, I got a house full tonight. Hey, everybody. Let's go clockwise. Everybody say hello. Hey, Mr. Deontay.
What's happening, y'all? I'm glad to be here. We got some beautiful guests in the house tonight. We got Jeff and Siobhan in here, and they're going to talk about their relationship and their new book. Can't wait.
Yes. The Ladonnis is. Say hello, y'all.
What's up,
It's a pleasure to have y'all.
It is. This is great.
Thank y'all for coming.
Yeah.
How was y'all's weekend?
Ooh,
yeah.
Busy, but we are welcoming the busy.
Yeah.
Yes, we were playing hard this summer.
Yeah.
That's
we actually just took our daughter up to New York.
So we're empty nesters.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
That's a great thing, though.
Yeah, it is.
This is good.
How many kids I got?
One.
Our favorite child.
I like that.
Yeah, we had Mariah Carey, so that.
But it's a transition, and we're trying to cope with it and get used to it. Even now, like being at home, we're still like.
It's kind of weird because we'll call her name or say something, and we realize, wait a minute, she's not here, or just leaving her, because we left and we went to the whole march, so we were a little distracted. But oh my goodness, leaving my child and knowing that she's in New York and we're down here, it was kind of.
So how old is she, and what's the business in New York? Why y'all bring her to New York?
Yeah, well go ahead, Jeff.
I get into. She's a dancer. She loves dancing. She's a choreographer, and
that's Jeff's second wife. She's married. They've been married.
I respect that.
They've been married for 18 years.
She's my buddy. So we spent a lot of years with her. She's done ballet, jazz, hip hop. She really loves it, and we spent a lot of time in New York. And she fell in love with New York. She actually had a chance to dance for a company, Brick House in New York. And she was like, Mom and Dad, I would really love to go to school up here. So we found Pace University, which has like a dance choreographer program for
an amazing one, I hear.
Really
yes. And I've seen you all show her performances on Facebook and everything. Yeah. And she's awesome.
Thank you.
She is, like we're gonna see her on.
She's like all her dad.
Right. I will give him that much, because me, on the other hand, I am not the dancer. She is like everywhere, so.
You got 2 left feet, or you just don't like what she
dance? No, I'm all for it. I wish I could dance like she does. Giovanni is on another level. She's actually worth some stuff.
She's amazing. She's so awesome.
God bless supportive parents.
Yes. Beautiful. Mr. Deontay, how was your weekend, dear? What you get into?
My weekend, I've been reconstructing my mental.
Okay, alrighty.
I've been reconstructing my mental. I've been working on myself. I've been trying to understand the relationship I'm in. Not trying to. I've been getting an understanding of the relationship I'm in, so that I can get to a point where I can overstand and I know exactly what's going on. But today, I'm feeling liberated.
Okay, yes.
I said before on the show that we had started counseling. I actually feel like it's working.
Oh, praise the Lord. That's awesome.
So I'm feeling real good. I spent some extra time with my kids. What people don't understand is stress goes in more than one direction.
Yeah.
If you stressed, it can be physical, but mental stress is like you pulling a tank.
Yeah.
It'll really take everything out of you. And I think at this point where I'm at a better understanding.
That's good.
And I'm happy.
Yeah.
That's great.
Oh,
yay. I'm happy. I'm happy that I know what's going on. Before I didn't really understand what was going on, but today I understand what's going on.
Conversation, it helps.
Yeah.
Communication
is key.
Communication is everything.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Well, my yesterday was quiet, but I made up for it today.
What you do, girl?
Pretty and pink. Let's acknowledge it. Let's acknowledge it. Pretty and pink.
Gorgeous.
Right.
Thank y'all. Well, I got booked to do a show, and so I don't do the whole makeup and the whole face beat and stuff all the time. So I said, well, let's kill two birds with one stone. So we're gonna do a photo shoot too.
Okay.
So I had a young lady come to my house this morning and did all the glam and all that kind of good stuff. Thank you. And so then I went and I had a photographer follow me around the city for the whole Bonnie in the City concept.
Oh, nice.
So we did a lot of pictures. I can't wait. And then it was a lot more time consuming than I thought. So we didn't do as much as I would like, but we got some good spots, especially like Atlantic Station and whatnot. Yeah. So we probably gonna do it again, but we got enough for now. And then I had to go all the way to Gwinnett, and that's where we did the filming. So a young lady is doing a documentary, and so she chose me to be in it. It's supposed to air next year, and
Girl.
And then right off to radio after. So I'm like, today was a busy day.
And you still look great.
Thank you. So I got a suitcase of clothes. I changed 21 times today. I'm just like, okay, is this what showbiz is about? Because I need a nap.
People need to tune in to see and to get some of this inspiration from Bonnie in the City. Bonnie does a lot of things. She doesn't give herself enough credit. She wears a lot of hats.
Thank you.
I think her positivity is bringing all these opportunities and all these blessings
Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Well, I wanted to touch on a few things before we dive into our exciting interview today.
Okay.
So, first and foremost, I got an event coming up, y'all.
Okay.
I'm super excited about it. It's the end of the month, September the 25th through the 27th.
Is that the retreat?
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, I'm doing a women's retreat. It's called Quarantine and Pray.
Oh, wow.
And I initially wanted to do it a little bit earlier, but I always say things work out not by happenstance or whatnot. It's direct intervention, divine intervention, and I really truly believe that everything happens and falls right in its place. So it didn't work out then, and then it went to I'm looking at everybody's on Facebook Live, but then it ended up going to the end of the month, which just happens to be my birthday weekend.
Okay.
And I am such a giver. I was like, well, this is a way for me to pour back into other ladies for my birthday and be able to gift them with something.
Nice.
And so we initially had it for Embassy Suites in the Buckhead, Atlanta location.
Okay.
Somebody came in, bought the whole hotel out, and we had to move. And I'm like, okay, I got an event. I've sold tickets, and I don't have a location now.
Right.
But guess what? It opened back up, y'all. So we
She went right into that too.
Look at God. So we are still on for my location. It was important to me. I wanted to give the ladies a nice, plush, fun experience. But I also wanted them to be able to relax and have some me time. Because a lot of people was like, well, why don't you do an Airbnb or something like that? And that's all nice and whatnot. But it was important for me to, let's break away at some point and have some me time, some quality me time. We have our own rooms.
Yeah. Love it.
And then you still have a suite. Because all the Embassy Suites, all their rooms are, and so I wanted to also give, a lot of times when people go to events, they have a separate quarters for vendors.
Yeah.
I want the ladies to be able to vend for free. So their dining room or living room piece of their suite is going to be set up for their business.
Oh, nice.
So we're going to do a quote-unquote marketplace and just tour each other's room.
Nice.
We're still going to do it socially distancing. So just a couple people in a room. Nobody goes in anybody's bedrooms and nobody's bathroom. You just go in the front. We're going to tour, all that kind of good stuff. But we're going to have a spiritual weekend. We're going to take communion together. We're going to pray together. Yeah. We're going to journal together. We're going to do a simulation of what I call let go and let God. So kind of in a sister circle where we get together and just really share our burdens or whatever is on our heart, whatever may be holding us back from anything. And we're going to write it down, tie it to the end of a balloon and do a balloon release and simulate letting go, physically letting go. So we can, So I have a whole weekend planned. The main event part is on Saturday. So people can choose to come for the whole weekend or just come on Saturday.
Nice.
It's not a for-profit event, so the rooms won't be paid to me. Everybody just list on the link and book your own room. I'm not upcharging or any of that. Just go straight to the hotel. I have a conference room link, so there'll be discounted rates, so everybody can go grab their room. And then the only thing that they'll pay me for is the day of. That's because I'm getting dinner served and catered by Ruth Chris. So it's going to be an amazing dinner. Nice. So I'm just taking care of that. But everything else, all the events and all the activities, it's not going to be.
And you know the Chris is right. It's in the same hotel. Yeah.
They're known for their steakhouse.
Yeah.
But the way we're going to have it set up, ironically, we're not having steak, but I'm cool with that. So what they're going to do is a served buffet instead of self-serve. So you'll still have all you can eat concept, but due to COVID and all that, everyone will go up and help themselves. They'll serve us. So steak. Yes, exactly. And so we'll have a chicken and a fish choice, and then of course the vegetarian option if you just want all veggies, and and the salad and soup and all that kind of stuff. But it's gonna be super fun.
Yes.
I know. So I want to make sure everybody knows about Quarantine and Pray. And another thing that I thought was ironic, when I went to look for graphics to make the flyer, I didn't find any women of color or African American women when I Google Quarantine and Pray. So like with the mask and the praying type, simulation or whatnot, I saw other nationalities. So I was like, we need to change that narrative too.
Yeah.
Because I know we have prayed our way through this COVID-19. And I was just like, that is so interesting that I saw Caucasian, Indian women, a lot of other different races, but I could not find an image of a black woman with the mask on and praying. So I said, we're going to flood the internet with that image, a positive image of women of color. And so it's just a lot that we have in line for it. I'm super excited. As always, I'm super busy. I'm going to sneak away to a wedding, but I'll be right back for the event. I'll be right back. So my sister's going to spearhead the journaling piece while I'm gone for about 2 hours, but I will be right back. But anywho, you guys, if you're interested, you can book tickets, BonnieandTheCity.com. Go get your tickets, get your wife's tickets, whomever. We're going to have a great time, whether it's a couple or a full house, and we got to get a bigger room. We're just going to have an amazing time, y'all. So I'm excited.
For all the listeners who know me and know me personally, you know I don't sugarcoat and you know I don't come with the crap. This is a great woman.
Oh, thank you.
Woman, and I have seen nothing but greatness. I think you'll have a great time. Book your wife, book your sister, book your mother, and you women just come on out. I think she's really planning something great for you all. Give it a shot and put your money where your mouth is.
Yes. Come on. Yes, I appreciate that, dear. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a blast.
So. It sounds so exciting.
Yeah. Well, we'll hop into our interview. I typically have an icebreaker. Okay. I'm going to keep it kind of short. So I always say I used to want a twin. I always was like, I wish I had a twin. That is so cool to have another one of you. Well, can y'all believe it was two of me? Like, that would just be so much fun.
People have been down with this thought. I haven't felt like you feel, but I've been down with this thought. What if it was two of me? Oh, my God.
Right.
Yeah, that's actually a crazy
thought. Man, oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
I don't know what to begin.
Yeah. It might be a little too much. I think the good Lord said, no, we are not going to have to. So the best thing is he gave me a name twin who's here today. Yes. Hey, Siobhan.
Hey, Siobhan.
How are you, dear?
Good, Siobhan.
I don't meet Siobhans often, and my name is not that common, or our name is not that common. So I'm always super excited when I meet another Siobhan. It just makes my day.
I grew up my whole childhood thinking I was the only Siobhan
Me too.
on the face of the earth.
Right.
No Siobhans.
None in my class, none in school. It's just, anywho. So I'm super excited. Yes. I'm glad to have you on the show today. And we are going to hop right into this. Let me show everybody before I turn the camera around. This amazing book. Now, I don't even know where to start with the title because you told me that it's a little catch to the title, a joke to the title. So let's let you all lead and introduce your book. Yes.
Yeah, I'll let you do it, Jeff.
So the title of the book is called #4 Real Talk for Real Life.
You want to give the story of number 4?
Yeah,
there's a story to number 4. So
come on, keep it going. Let's go.
Yeah. What had happened was
we try to keep it clean.
Yeah, we're gonna try to keep it clean.
You can't. We gonna.
Yeah. If you feel I'm going too far off, just
we'll forgive you.
Well, let's just say this: it started in the church.
Yeah, it did.
So the whole number 4 is if anybody is in trouble, it's the church.
No, let's be serious for a second. So what happened is Siobhan and I, and you know what, we're on the radio, so our book is very open and real. Yeah. So during the time we were going through some marital issues, and we were living in Maryland during that time, and we joined a marital class. And at the time, we were studying this marital book, and we got to the chapter about love.
Number 4.
Love and sex.
Yeah.
Which was chapter 4.
Okay.
And being in a spiritual setting, when the word sex would come up,
everybody covered their ears,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
That's the first word.
Right.
Like it was bad. Yeah. So instead of saying sex, we kept saying #4.
Yes.
Did you get some? Did you get some number 4? Or are you going on to get number 4? And it became an inside joke.
It was an inside joke. Mainly the guys were like, number 4,
yeah.
number 4.
I like that.
So Shemai and I thought it was like really cool. We started, we went home, and even though we were like, going through some issues, we just thought it was really hilarious. Like it would make us laugh. Like we're like,
anytime we would say number 4, we would just start laughing regardless. Even if we were uptight, we would kind of say number 4, and we would just be silly
that
about
would
it.
break the ice.
Yeah. And it worked a lot. So even in the marriage ministry that we were a part of, number 4 became what we would put as our request. So it started off with just being a sexual connotation, and it ended up being, so what is your pleasure? What is your desire?
Exactly.
So anything that you wanted could be a #4, number
Correct.
4.
I love
and you could not say no.
Okay.
You had to grant that wish. You could not say no within a week's time.
So I'll go a little more into it. So we took it to another level. There's a couple in the marital class, and it's okay to say their names on the radio?
If it's okay with you.
Yeah, they're really cool.
Okay.
So right into that, they actually talked about, taking a Post-it, and they would write whatever it is that they desire on a Post-it.
Oh.
And the spouse or significant other would have a week to grant that wish. A lot of times you're in a relationship, you bring up an idea or something you'd like to try, and then it's like, so where'd you get that from? Were you hanging out with your boys, or why do you want to try this now? Is something going on? Is it? Are we having some issues right now?
Right.
But what this does is that you write it down without. Take out the argument, the conversation. Just write it on. Exactly.
Yes.
And you post it
anywhere, and that spouse has a week to grant that, whatever it is.
And you can go throughout the week. You don't even have to say a word. But I bet you by the end of the week, both wishes would have been granted.
Right. So in class, we heard it. It was on a smaller scale where it's like, I wrote it down because I wanted you to remember to take out the trash, or
all the wives are like, dishes,
pick
trash,
up the grocery or something like that. But when Siobhan and I got home, because we were going through some issues, we're like, wait a minute.
You need to take this to another level.
Spin this thing to another level because there was some tension and elephants in the room, things that we weren't talking about.
Yeah.
Because it's like the argument was really about something minute, but the real issue we never got to it.
The root of the problem.
Right.
And so having to write it down, like how I really felt, like, oh, here, you're going to think about this for a week. Like, this is what's really
literally was staring at me. He would put it in the bathroom, right where the mirror is, and I'm thinking,
you can't miss it.
You can't miss it.
Right. Like, even if I tried to.
I ain't seen it yet. No.
I think it fell in the trash.
Exactly. But in the end, what it did for us is that it drew us to a point where we had to talk.
Right.
Because now the issue is forefront, and we had to talk about it. And how do we deal with it? And that communication took us to not just to a deeper spiritual level, but it opened up areas that we've never talked about or really
and
dealt
things
with.
that we probably would have never done in our comfort zone. We were willing to step outside of the box because literally you couldn't say no, so you kind of had to step outside of the box. But then it also kind of, I know with me, I checked myself and said, well, why am I saying no? Or why am I giving him such a hard time about something that is pertaining to us? Spending more time, being more affectionate. Why am I giving him such a hard time with that? So a lot of that tension was eased with the number 4. It was an exercise. It became a practice for me.
That's awesome.
I like that. Because it just sounds like if y'all didn't get anything else, not saying that's how it went, but it just sounds like if y'all didn't get anything else from y'all's interactions with the class or whatnot, it did make y'all laugh. It did give y'all education. It did spark something to make y'all the segue to get y'all back on track.
Exactly.
And the thing, the most interesting point to that is that we tried it all. Like, we'd gone to counseling, we'd gone to
marriage retreats
and
we've done our
vacations,
own
and we've
getaways,
done everything. And, it's a typical, you have a dispute, and then 3 months you're good, and then but it's still somewhere in the back of your mind that thought
one thing can trigger it and erase all of that because you didn't deal with the elephant in the room.
Exactly. And so that's what the hashtag 4 did for us, and we actually went deeper into the book.
Yeah. So
now, do y'all keep in touch with any of the?
We do. As a matter of fact, a few of them have bought the book.
That's where I was going with that.
We have given credit. We've told them so many times, thank you, because literally they saved our marriage.
Yeah.
It was a life-saving experience. And, we joke about it now, but it was serious at the moment. But our marriage ministry became a unit, a family for us, an extended family that taught us how to communicate on a different level. And again, remembering, you're with your best friend, so you should be able to communicate in some form or fashion. And that was our problem. We didn't know our love language for one. We didn't know that. We thought we were communicating, but it was one-sided. And, you say what you say, then, I got to go, that type of situation.
Yeah.
So we squashed all of that and worked through all of that through number 4s.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
I'm learning from the show.
Yes.
I'm supposed to be here for me, for Siobhan, and to learn about my marriage.
Yeah.
The show is definitely. I keep hearing different stuff and new things from people who've been in real relationships, not just some lustful, but real people who want to make it work. Because you gotta go for you guys to go to a vacation, to go to a retreat, to go to counseling. You want to make it work. In your mind, between the two people, it's like, what is wrong?
Right.
What's the problem?
Exactly.
I like you.
I
do. I like you. I didn't jump in this for no reason. So I'm just trying to figure out what happened. Or what is it?
My goodness.
And that's the real question. Like, what is wrong? And you never get to that answer.
Or you're afraid to say what's wrong because you don't want that dreaded argument.
Exactly.
You just don't want to open that can of worms.
For me, it's like I don't want to say certain things because I'm a person who downloads, and I just believe that's how the brain works. So once it's been said or once you've seen it, it's there.
Yeah.
Right. No,
you can't get rid of it. Once you done said this, it don't matter if it hurt the person's feelings. You come back later. I didn't really mean that. I'm sorry. I didn't feel like it. You said it now.
Right,
It's not going nowhere. So, I'm going to deal with it and adjust, or, we got to have another conversation.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, let's touch on the back here. I was reading it as you all were speaking.
Okay.
The book Purpose. All right, so I'll read it real quick for the listeners. This book is dedicated to every couple or individual who is struggling in their relationship and maybe contemplating divorce because of sex. Maybe you are facing an extramarital affair and feel there is no going back. We are going to share our story of how we overcame and are now enjoying a healthy sex life and a happy marriage. Our book is designed to share our struggles in hopes that it will help you with yours. If you are like us and have read all of the marital books, you've prayed and cried daily over your marriage, you've joined classes, and simply put, you've tried everything, but nothing seems to work, you are not alone. We have been there. Maybe you are asking God, why can't I do better? Why am I broken? What's wrong with me? If so, this book has been handcrafted for you and shares some of the most intimate aspects of our marriage and our walk with God.
Yes.
I was like, that was really interesting as I was sitting here reading it. I was like, the listeners have to hear that. Yeah.
That was well put.
Yes.
It's literally an open book.
Wow.
We've been married for 25 years and we've been dating for 27 years.
And we still date. We've never stopped dating.
There you go.
So
that's
everything
the key, too.
25 years.
Yes.
I don't look older than 30.
Oh, and look what's in the book.
Yes.
Sticky note.
So normally when we send out the book, we put a post-it in there.
Yeah, super cute.
Because some people don't know how to begin or they'll procrastinate. So we said, no, we're going to solve that problem. Here's your first number 4.
Yeah.
Just a post-it, and you can do whatever you want with it. It's your desire.
Yeah.
Right.
So you get to try
So
it.
it can go from I want you to wash my car to I would like this in the bedroom.
Exactly. Or I want to take you to California for brunch.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That it can go as far. It is your imagination.
If you know your spouse is capable of it, you can write it on there.
And
you can expect it.
It is no too little, too big. It is truly from your heart. And it's your expression to them. Actually, it's their desire for you to fulfill it. So you can be as creative as you want. If she puts down there brunch, and your idea may be, I'm going to shock you.
Right.
Yeah, a picnic, candles at the park, and you can take that brunch to a whole new level. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's how it works. And you all will appreciate each other because then it becomes, okay, I got to outdo you, but in a good way.
Yeah.
You're loving each other to the point of competition in a good way.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, is it a such thing as not playing fair? Like, I think you made a good point just now. You were saying you know what your spouse is capable of.
Right.
So would you put something on here that's kind of outlandish?
Like, yeah, you would.
You would? Really?
Really?
Okay.
And I got 7 days?
I mean, I can.
We have done that. We've tried each other.
Yeah.
I would say each couple, you know who you're dealing with.
Right.
You know which buttons to push and you know how far to take it. We have done it. We put some outlandish things because we are the type, we get in our comfort zone. So if you don't push the other person, then we're like, oh, Waffle House. You know? Okay, here, shove it over here and just take it. But literally, if you say, you know, I want a massage on the beach. Oh, but doggone it, now I got to go to the beach because we don't live near a beach. So you know that drive is going to leave me. So you anticipate that. You know you're going to a beach. Or it may be something to the point where they may want to do something that is even more exciting than what you have as your number 4. So they may take your number 4 and just expand on that to another level that blows your mind. So that's another way to compete. And
So Siobhan actually touched on the lighter version, but I'm sure our listeners are like, Jeff, what is really number 4? Like, give me the juice. So if you read the book, there's a chapter called New Orleans. So it's an interesting chapter.
You see that number 4.
I'm a guy, you know.
Yeah.
It's anything, you know. You throw
anything
on there.
Goes.
Anything goes. So
chapter 2, y'all. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, so I pushed the envelope a little bit on chapter 2, and I mean the great thing about this at the end is that you're not only being fulfilled, but you get to try something with your spouse that you've never tried before. And the whole purpose of writing this book was that there were a lot of things that we were fighting about, and I was like, I didn't know you really like that. I didn't know you, Joe. I didn't know you could do this, Joe. I didn't even know you enjoyed
or
this.
You think you're fulfilling the person, but you're really not. That's the other problem.
It's almost like,
like,
and then it's almost like on Siobhan's end, there's a movie with Mel Gibson's like What a Woman
Wants.
And it's almost like the post-it was almost like I'm in her head. Like I literally know what she wants. And it's like, oh, Jeff, the way that's wrong. You may want to just go this route. So there were a lot that I was learning, but at the same time, there are things that I wanted that were upsetting me, and I wanted to see if my wife was just open to certain things.
Okay.
But I mean, we're married, and you're married. You know, you don't want to be, you're not going to be disrespectful.
Right.
But there are things that you're going to try that you know you could do together.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's where...
Well, that's
not putting the person in harm.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Intentionally. No, I'm just kidding. You don't want to put them in harm's way. But at the same time, you want to push the envelope because there are some fantasies that you may want that your spouse may not think about.
That part. Wow. That's what I want to touch on. When he was saying that, like, you get so wrapped up in the things that are irrelevant, that are minute, and that just don't even matter. That you forget that y'all are friends, and y'all did build on some type of things that you know that you have in common. Right. So when she write the sticky note, it's like, you know, I want to do that too.
Exactly.
Exactly. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool.
That's pretty much how it works.
I'm gonna give you an example.
Yeah.
It's no secret that I'm going through things, or me and my wife ain't in the best place. So last night, it was her idea. She wanted to go to the park. Not just in the park, but she wanted to be around some water. Okay. So we went to the park, and it's water.
Yeah.
We did the inebriation thing that we do.
I got you.
And we had great conversation. I'm not even going to call it a conversation. I was a great listener.
Well, that's sweet.
Yeah, I was being a great listener. It was a few times I did this, and I'm talking about my tongue wanted to move, and it's like, do something different.
Right.
So I was listening, and I thought it went great.
I
thought it went great. I guess that might be part of why I'm in a great mood.
I'm telling your spouse, your partner will appreciate. It's the small things. It's not even. Sometimes, you know, it's just the fact that she's been wanting you to listen for years, and now that was the day that you listened. It was like, finally, thank you guys. You know, finally. But then at the same time, you all were able to experience just a date. That was a date.
I was told something last night, and I don't take it to no offense. I took it, and I'm running with it. Yeah. I was told that you're kicking me while I'm down.
Okay.
Wow. And I just took that, and I was like, that's not what I thought I was doing. That's the last thing I want to do. But when you listen instead of jumping in to say you're wrong, that's not right, that's inaccurate, you know. Yeah. If you listen, then it's like, that's why you feel like that. Oh, I never let you get to the end of your story, so I ain't never know. Oh, that's how you got
to this. And they're not arguing with you; they're just communicating and letting you know what the deal is.
I think the counseling is helping, and we done spoke to some mentors and some friends done reached out to both of us, and nobody don't want to see it happen. Or, see the worst case scenario. Right. So I think it's going in the upright
And both
direction.
of you wanted to work, because if you didn't, you wouldn't be sitting here right now talking about what you did last night.
Yeah. The reality of it, even though you get great advice by yourself, like when you're alone, you still ask yourself those questions. Something got to spark. Like for our book, it's like you can spark that change, and it's so temporary, you know, like 2 weeks, you're good for 2 weeks, you know what I'm saying? And then until it triggers again. But how do you get it to where it's completely eradicated? Like it's that argument. And that's where when you're alone, like for myself, like what I was going through, and I wrote it down, I wrote exactly what I wanted and what I was feeling. And I was like, okay, now I know, you know, we're not going to get an argument about this. It's on the post-it. Here you go. This is it. You got to wait to think about it. Yeah. And this is exactly how I feel and what I want. And I feel like if we can make this work, then, you know, our relationship will get to another level. And I can truly say, it
helps with the communication process, because some people don't know how to begin the initial communication, because, again, I don't want to start an argument. I don't want attention. I don't want to stir the waters, you know.
I'm right. It's peaceful.
Yes, let there be.
Exactly.
But that could be that is the elephant in the room, because one day, it may not be today, but eventually that one issue that you're tabling is going to come back to bite you, and you're not going to like it, because now it's going to be the anger from last week and the anger from last year, and so it's going to snowball, and then you're going to get that full, you know, I hate you, I wish I never met you type of situation, and that's really not what you mean. No, but that comes out in anger.
It's crazy that Siobhan and I were just talking about that. We had a video shoot this morning, and we're driving back, and we're looking at our friend, and we were just thinking about mothers who are at home, you know, having to deal with a relationship. You know, you have to be a mom you're working, you also have to be
your wife.
The wife. Like you're doing all
and
of this, and at the end of the night, you gotta
be the wife, the girlfriend, and all that.
So how do you deal with a relationship? Yeah, but how do you deal with a relationship during COVID? You know, where either spouse may be flying in and out during that week before COVID. Yeah. You know, you may see your spouse like once a week, but now you have each other in the house 24/7, and now you're getting on each other's nerves.
Now everybody works from home.
I've heard a lot
and
of
so
that.
the divorce rate is now insane. Insane because it's not that you don't love each other, but you're getting on each other's nerves, and it's like it becomes routine, and the space and everything starts.
Or the parenting that you thought you didn't have to do, you realize, wait a minute, I have to do this? You realize that being away was almost like a scapegoat. It was a cop-out for a lot of people. Work became that crutch to keep you away from dealing with reality.
That means something.
Yes.
And what Shimon and I were saying is that, and we wrote a lot about that in the book, a chapter called 14 Dates, 14 Nights.
Yeah.
And,
that's
like even for COVID, folks have asked us, like couples have asked us, like, you know, what do we do in a situation like that? I mean, you can be so creative, even if your spouse is working in the next room. You could like take a picture, a selfie of yourself, and just text it to your husband. Like, hey, I'm in the other room waiting for you. You want to take a lunch break?
Lunch break. You know, good little lunch break is at the house, but you know, you can make it sexy at the house.
Or meet me in the garage, you know, at 2:45. You can be as creative as possible. There's so many ways that you can create and find ways to have sex. Exactly.
Like 14 days was literally us dropping our daughter off at camp.
Yeah.
Before we knew she was going to be gone for 14 days. So when we dropped her off, our clock began. Right. So we had 14 days and 14 days within each day to come up with how we're going to wow each other.
Memories.
Oh my gosh, that was the best. I learned that I like certain sushi, and then I learned that I will not try. I mean, it was different things. Like I didn't even know the things that he had in his mind. Different foods, you know.
And for the guys, I threw in a lap dance.
Oh yeah. He got his lap dance.
I did. So I was
I was down with that because it was anything that he was doing behind my back.
You know what I'm saying?
That part.
Yeah.
So I threw Magic City in there.
Yeah. I literally took him to Magic City.
She did.
You took him.
Yeah.
She took me.
Turn up.
Yeah.
Now, is this the list of your 14 days?
Yes.
Okay.
Like
awesome.
these are things that we did.
Yes.
The craziest part about that is that I threw it on my list, and she actually took me, paid for everything. And I was like, this is great. Like, she took them in the environment, and I'm kind of enjoying it. It's not like I've been in Magic City before.
And it had to be a good-looking girl. It couldn't be no ratchet-looking girl. But I'm saying, man, she was trying to be cute,
right?
Okay?
Yeah.
She was like, did you like a lap dance? Yo, I was like, I had to process that thing like an SAT. So I said,
it wasn't anything that I wasn't aware. He wasn't sneaking around. I knew what to do.
Y'all are here more so as friends.
Yes.
So everything.
That was something that he wanted, and I was there for him. I remember being his friend when he was in high school, and I knew the things that he liked. So it's like, okay, I'm not that insecure that I'm thinking this girl is going to take my man.
Asking for her number.
If you do that, you know the deal with that.
And that's the point I'm trying to make is that even I didn't move during the lap dance because I was scared to death.
He thought it was a trap. It's not a trap.
Okay. But what we wrote in the book, the reality that comes out of that is that it's not necessarily the affair that really hurts you. I mean, it hurts. But it's the curiosity.
Yeah, it's your imagination.
You know what I'm saying? And so if you do things together, if you do everything together, for all the listeners, if you don't hear anything we're saying, if you do everything together, it takes away that curiosity and that the insecurity, whatever it is, it takes it away because you're there and you know your boundaries and your limits. Yeah. It's when you don't know, it's like, oh man, so my man went out or my girl went out and she's out, she comes back. It's like, so where were you? Who were you with? Right. And your imagination will, and it's like, it could be innocent.
It'll take you off the cliff.
You know what I'm saying?
It will. Your imagination will take you off the cliff.
It will, yeah.
Especially being a creative person, my mind is very vivid.
I'm a creative person.
Oh my goodness, so it's bad.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, you guys. I am so intrigued by the book. As we're talking, I'm listening and reading. And it's, I mean, it's good for anybody. Dating, married, single. Because at some point, you're going to be in a relationship. You know what I mean? The first chapter that you had mentioned,
New Orleans?
yes, it's really interesting as I was flipping through it. So the subtitles in here, of course you think something else, but you guys play on it. So like checking in, or to me when I first read that, I thought that kind of meant like a hotel, but no, it's checking in to with your spouse.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
I'll elaborate on that. So
yes.
we're in New Orleans, and we're at a spot called Collect. We're on the radio, it's okay. I hope the kids do not listen, but we're at a swinger spot called Collect.
Oh, okay.
No, we're not swingers, but we
just wanted to see.
We wanted to see
what's going on.
We're gonna go together. So we're like, you know what? We've heard a lot about it. Let's just check it out. I threw it on my list, and she was like, hey, let's go. So we got there, and
when we got there, okay, so Colette is one of the. It's like trapeze, but it's got a nice little bourgeois feel to it. It's New Orleans, so it has that nice little southern bourgeois type of feel. So we're there, and literally, I'm feeling Jeff. He's feeling me. And, people are walking around, they're asking because of, we're in their environment. So I don't get offended when people come and approach. But at the same time, it's up to us to set our boundaries. So we had our boundaries, and we said what we would and would not do. And
that's where check-in comes in. It's like, every minute you just check.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So we knew that it was just us.
Are you okay? Are you comfortable? Are you ready to leave?
If somebody wanted to watch,
Have we gone
they
too
can
far?
watch.
Do we need to leave in 10 minutes? Because at the point, the sex energy is high.
Yeah, I mean, you're in
so it's like, are you okay? Are you comfortable? Is this too much? And
goes into that download.
Exactly.
So, all right, I'm done. I've seen enough.
Right, exactly. And the reality is, to your point, like, I was shutting down, like, because I'm trying to protect her, like, I'm like, are you okay? Like, we need to go. But in reality, in my mind, I'm like, I don't want to go. I hope she's...
And I knew he didn't want to go. I'm like, why would I be that girl? Like, why would I do that to him?
But in checking in,
taking
what
the
I
color and
realized
making
that
me.
She was okay. Like, and sometimes
as long as you do right.
Exactly.
As long as you do right.
She was okay.
If you do right, she'll be okay.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, we ended up having a good time. We found a private room, had a good time, and we left, and it was like one of the best nights. And it was like, wow, we can check that off, right?
Yeah.
And we wrote about it.
So, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, it's something that I say, if you can step outside of your bedroom and comfort zone, do that. As long as your spouse is okay with it.
Do everything
together. Don't sneak around and let them find out that you went down the street.
Sky's the limit. Do everything together.
Now you have another sub category in here, which I'm really glad y'all put it in. God created sex.
Yeah.
You think everybody knows that.
You would hope.
You have to, it's like you have to say it because it's almost like an ugly, like you said, an ugly word, an ugly thing. Okay, so why can't you put a twist on it?
Yes.
Like, why do those things have to be taboo?
Yeah.
That should be the norm. A married couple should be able to go to a whatever kind of
the limit is for you.
They would like to go to. And enjoy themselves.
Exactly.
And thank you, dear. And enjoy themselves. And I mean, but people frown upon it and look at it crazy like, y'all, what? That should be the norm.
Because we put ourselves in a box and we are conservative as a culture, and then our religion falls into place, and then what would mom and dad think? And it's like, wait a minute, none of these people are living with you, and none of them are paying your bills.
Exactly.
So go and do you.
I think your relationship is your relationship.
Exactly.
You should customize your relationship, you and your partner, the same way you customize your outfit.
Exactly.
I want these type of shoes, and I want this sock. You get what I mean? It's whatever y'all want to do. If y'all are both want to do vegetarianism, if y'all want to go to the swinger club and never participate, that's your business.
Exactly.
If your husband like dances and you cool with it, that's your business.
Exactly.
That's just y'all business. When you include everybody else and take on everybody else's advice and opinion on certain things that y'all just, it's not an argument. You get what I'm saying? These certain things you just have to customize. You just have to build in the relationship. And you don't need nobody else's.
And you have to get that I don't care attitude. Like, you know what? It really is us against the world, because people are going to form their opinions, and that's fine.
There's a word called, I think, voyeurism or something like that. If that's something you and your spouse got into, don't share it with people. Right. Yeah. Just let it be y'all thing. Yeah. The moment you share it with somebody, you take on and you download their ideas and their perception of it.
And it's based on
it confuses things.
Yeah.
Talk to your spouse only.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what we said. We said marriage is like a fingerprint. There's no two alike.
Yes.
I like that.
Like when you start comparing marriages in your relationship.
Yeah, I think that's where a lot of people get into trouble when they compare marriages.
Right.
Well, social media too.
Mark and Susie do it this way. And then like you said, oh Lord, social media.
It's
because at the end of the day, social media, I tell people all the time, you are basing someone's life off of a picture.
Right.
Yeah.
Or a Facebook Live. Yeah. So that's like maybe 30 seconds of a 24-hour day.
Right.
Exactly.
Like, really?
Right.
And that might have just been shot and cued for that moment.
For that moment. Most of it.
That may not even be real. Yeah.
Most of it.
I'm like, that's ludicrous to think that. And it's so interesting because I've actually had friends call me that I hadn't spoken to in a while and just based off of my social media profile, tell me how I'm doing. And I'm like, really?
Like, I'm so glad you found that much interest in me. Little me.
So that's really interesting to me.
Yes.
Now, we do a segment, and this is something Deontay brought up for us. And so I want to touch on your 14 days, 14 dates.
Okay.
So I think this will kind of tie into your segment that you typically do. We got 14 to drop on them today. 14 dates to leave. Date 1, sushi. Date 2 was the fun one we just talked about, the strip club.
Yeah.
Date 3, homemade cuisine.
Yes.
Date 4, outside theater.
That was a lot of fun.
Wait, what that mean?
A drive-in?
Like we found, so back in the day.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't skip past that. I caught that.
We used to go to the good old drive-in, but they upgraded a little bit. So Atlantic Station and different spots in Atlanta, they would have what is called screen on the green and things like that back in the day. So we kind of made those that night a sexy night. Like we had our nice little wine, our tables, our tea wine, and kind of made that a dinner on blanc before that became possible.
Exactly.
Right.
But that's one of the things that we just kind of like to do, and it was outside of the house. You're not sitting at home.
Right. Get outside of the four walls. Outside of the four walls.
Right.
Let's see here. 2 urban licks.
We picked. Siobhan and I, like, if we're doing 14 days, I'm sorry to pause on that.
No, that's okay.
We like to pick sexy restaurants.
Yeah, that was the
2 urban licks is very sexy.
So we like energy.
Ambiance, yes.
With the lighting.
Ambient lighting, candle lights, or indoor, outdoor atmosphere.
Exactly.
Nice.
A live band, maybe.
Right. It creates the atmosphere.
Yeah.
So if you go on a date, you don't want to do like a family restaurant or TGIF or.
Let me say this. So a date that you would take someone to on a first date.
Yes.
Instead of thinking of this as your wife.
Exactly.
Okay.
Treat your wife as if that's your first date every time.
Somebody you still trying to get it from.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's a good analogy.
Right, because that's what you do. When you married, that's what you think you're supposed to do.
Exactly.
Chili's, Red Lobster. Exactly. The norm.
Right. Or something quick. And you ain't got to get dressed for it. I can put a ponytail and
but you should get dressed.
Right. Because I'm going with my husband.
So don't let your long when you wear to the meeting at work. Okay.
Exactly.
Good stuff, y'all.
Or pull out that perfume or cologne that you wore when you got married. Sometimes just that sensory stimulus will remind you of what you had.
Yeah.
Like what did you have on when you got married, or what was the dress or the pants that you had on, or whatever that will remind them of why they even fell for you.
Yeah.
So when you're planning these dates, you really putting some time into it.
Yeah, it's not just like, going down the street.
Just like pick a random restaurant and just go to.
And this is thought out, this list.
Yeah.
So, glass bottom rooftop lounge. Rose picnic at the park. Taco Cowboy. The Perfect Storm. I am a social person, a foodie, and a out person. Like, I go out a lot. There's quite a few places on here that I've never been to.
Yes.
And
I like the subtype.
Well, a lot of people always ask us, like, we see you guys on social media. You guys are a lot of events. We use Eventbrite, and we stay on Eventbrite.
And we're deliberate about finding spots that we think are sexy.
Yeah, and we're like, and it's so easy. You can Google a lot of places in Atlanta and become membership. Like we're membership of what's the magazine?
Hospitality.
So we're like Modern Luxury.
Yeah, Jezebel.
We're Jezebel. Like local magazines that sends you events.
Because Atlanta has a ton of free events and just, pop-up stuff that they need people there, and you just show up and you can take that night where that may be your initial spot, but that's not your final destination.
Yeah. Wow.
But it sets the mood where you're planning on going. Yes.
I hope the listeners are taking notes. This is good stuff, y'all.
So both parties are looking for somewhere to go.
Exactly.
Yeah. So instead of one person saying, "Hey, I want to do this," and then other person just say, "Okay."
So what we did was 14
make
days.
you look forward to.
And then
what you come up with.
Right. And it could be your compromise. It could be well, we do what you want to do this time, and we'll table this one for yours for the next one. Or you may combine it and can make that a nice night together, and it's a lot of fun. Like last night was my night, and I took him out. Yeah, and it was just a lot of fun. We did some things that he wanted to do instead of things that I just wanted to do. But then he does that for me quite often. So,
and that's important. Like we were talking about earlier, the love language. Mm-hmm. So sometimes people get caught up in loving her or him how you want to be loved.
Right.
Yes.
So I like to go shopping. Mm-hmm. So do I go take my man to the MK outlet? He probably would prefer to went to the Falcons game. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. So being strategic, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's exactly hit it. So if 1 week, he went shopping with you, then the next week
you go to the Falcons game.
Yeah. You gotta go to the game. You bounce.
And be cute when you go. Don't just go.
Cute as a button.
Make it seem like you're excited about going. Like,
make it seem like you're excited.
Go to the Falcons. Get the hat. Buy him. Buy him. Get him geared up.
Yeah.
Take him to the game.
Cute. Yeah.
Make it seem like
maybe upgrade to like the VIP section and make him feel like he is the man.
I love it.
You women control it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to word it, but women control the environment or the atmosphere.
Yes.
You can still, in him playing video games, in him watching the football game, in him playing cards with his friends, you can still get the attention that you want from him if you do strategic things that you know he knows what you're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Make it fun. Make it exciting.
Exactly.
Keep him on his toes.
Yeah.
On his toes. Don't always look the same either. Like our neighbor, they said, "Girl, you change up all the time," and it's true. Last week or a couple of weeks, I had pink hair. Right. Earlier during the summer, what you see on the book cover, that was a ombre color. I mean, it's who I choose to do, what I choose to do to make him feel like he has a different person. But then for me too, it's also about me. As a woman, you can feel trapped as a wife, as a mother, this and that. And sometimes, I need to do things to make me feel like, hey, I still got it.
Yeah.
I can remind myself. Because you can't be sexy for somebody else if you're not feeling that way about yourself, within.
I love it.
Self-esteem.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh my goodness. Can y'all believe we only have 5 minutes
left?
Oh,
no. 4. Time has been flying. It goes like this.
Oh my goodness.
Like
Good conversation.
In the city, we do it like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to run through the last couple ones real quick.
Okay.
Let me go up. Perfect Storm.
Yeah.
We Work Out. Industry Event.
Yeah.
What's that? Maserati party?
It's a Maserati party.
Okay.
You got a little hood with the spelling. There's phonetic there going on.
Just Because event and twist. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's pick one to close out and give us a little something about it. Tell us about that one, number 12, the Maserati party.
Okay.
Tell us about Fast and Furious.
So we found that I kid you not, it was free.
Yeah.
We found a Maserati event that was sponsored at the Ritz-Carlton right downtown.
Okay.
They were giving free test drives for the Maserati.
Yeah.
We were like, okay.
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, not only would you get to test drive the Maserati, because we definitely took it out on the highway, But we also had the champagne, the hors d'oeuvres, and what have you. And that was earlier in the day.
Drink and drive.
Well,
yeah,
they did. It was again.
Yeah. So just y'all get to drive off, or is somebody else in the car?
Well, they're in the car, but we get to drive it. Okay. Yeah, and they tell you punch it. They take it for a spin, and we trust me. I floored it. He floored it. We had a good time. But that's a memory.
That is cool.
That's the most important part. When you get too old and the bedroom stuff ain't as exciting and that ain't what's important, y'all can run down all of these memories and places and people y'all done met and been to. That's what's important.
And that's the thing at the end of the day, when reading this book and looking at some of the ideas that we put down, I mean, you have them. I mean, you can look in your relationship and think about all the places that you've been or all the creative things that you've done, and you just go back and you just elaborate on those.
Yeah, you've always had it within you. It's just a matter of remembering that person that you were. Like, don't lose yourself in being a parent or being someone's spouse, because yes, that is who you are, but that's not the only person that you are. That's not the only sector of your life.
And then going back to that whole Maserati thing, it like we mentioned earlier, from Eventbrite or getting with the magazines of Atlanta, and they send you information like free event.
Yeah, to the point where you're picking and choosing. Like, I guess I'll do this one, or maybe not. You have options.
Yeah, and so even I know we're about to run out of time. So even to tie that in, so what came out of this book, and for us that works and keep us going, is that we have date night every Thursday. We don't miss it.
No matter what.
No matter what.
Where's the
we had that just this other Thursday.
Yeah, exactly.
And you still went on date night.
Yeah.
Yes, you have
beautiful.
To. Because
within the disagreement, y'all still.
Yes.
Yeah, you
now, granted, it was tense.
Yeah, it was
but
tense.
we went.
Yeah. So it's you have to pre-plan and really fight. Marriage is not easy.
Right, not at all.
I wanted to say that. I just didn't get a chance.
On this radio to tell y'all that marriage. I mean, we've been
doing
it for 20,
and lemonade
25
all
years.
day.
So even reading this book, there's some ups and downs. We talk about addiction. We talk about, affair. We talk about everything that we've gone through. We're not saying that it's easy to get to this point where you're actually being creative as far as like 14 days. But we give you a head start with the Post-it if you try. Whatever it is that you're feeling that's bothering you, that you would like to try. There's a starting point. And you'll be surprised, and we're telling you from our experience, it's an orgasm in the end.
I mean, you will fall deeper in love if you allow yourself to remove the boundaries. You will fall deeper in love because you will realize, I really do love this person.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah. And you have to remove the boundaries to have that longevity.
You do.
You know what I mean? Because if you stay in that box, that's how you have people that get bored, quote unquote, fall out of love. You know, it's only so many times you can do, in the bed, on the left side, you know what I mean? So just being open to, that.
New things.
Because we agreed to do forever. So we got a whole wide world.
Yeah, we got forever. Exactly. You're married forever.
Yeah.
So we out of time, y'all. I'm your boy Deontay. We got Siobhan, our host. And we want you guys to leave your information so people can get in touch with you.
And how to buy the book. Yeah.
All right. Well, you can reach us at our website, jeffandsiobhan.com, and you can purchase your book that way. And, or we're on Kindle as well, right?
Yeah, we're on Kindle. We're on, Amazon. Barnes & Noble. We're on all the platforms that you can buy the book. But the main place is to actually go to
our
Jeff
website.
And Siobhan, our website, because it gives a background.
SHAVONNE.
So you type in Jeff, JEFFANDSHAVONNE.com.
Perfect.
Yes.
Do y'all want to leave the listeners with a quick tidbit?
Yeah, why not? What do you want to?
Go ahead.
Let's leave them with. I think for your homework, we'll give a homework assignment tonight. Let's get everyone who is listening to at least try a number 4 this week.
Yes.
Okay.
The number 4, get a Post-it, and if you don't have a Post-it, just get a piece of paper. And just write a fantasy and make that happen for your significant other.
Just try it.
Yeah.
Just try it this week.
Yes.
Just get a piece of paper, write whatever it is that's on your mind, whatever it is that you want to try. And just leave it. Just be like, baby, I've been thinking about this. I want to try it. Let's just see how it works out by the end of the week.
Yes.
Let's do it, guys.
I love
just want to end it with Jeff, I have been noticing that you look at your wife, and I have been noticing, Siobhan, that you look at your husband.
Beautiful, man.
When you guys are up here communicating to make sure that the same way y'all was at the collect, or the name of that place, y'all was making sure each other was okay. I'm noticing that same thing here. So I only said that to say that I believe the book is genuine. I believe what they're saying, and I believe you guys should invest.
Oh, thank you so much. We appreciate that.
Really appreciate it.
You all heard it here, number 4 on Hits 92.3, The Real Definition of Internet Radio. It's your girl, Siobhan Noel, and you are tuned in to Bonnie Loves Love. We'll see you all next week, same time, same place. Good night.
That was awesome.
That was so much.
That was great.